Well, hey everyone, welcome back to another Wildwoods Beekeeping podcast. Hope y'all can hear me okay. Thank y'all for joining us tonight. I really do appreciate everybody who takes time to spend time on our beekeeping chat. Tonight it is the eve before Christmas Eve, so I figured I'd come on here and talk a little bit about beekeeping, talk a little bit about what I'm doing, and uh, spread the Christmas joy tonight. So I hope everybody is having a fantastic day. I hope everybody had a good day, and I hope everybody is having a good holiday season, and hope everybody has a good Christmas. And so today I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of what I'm doing, some things that I'm trying to do, some updates, some things that you guys might want to know, because I haven't really talked a little bit about some of those things, because most of the time when I'm doing my live streams, it's with guests, and I don't really have time to go into all my stuff. I'm doing the interview or whatever. So tonight I'm gonna be kind of taking some time and explaining some of the things that's going on, kind of some updates of what's going on in the bee yard and some different things. Feel free to ask questions, all that good stuff in the comment section below. Make sure to smash the like button too. So first, before we get into our chat, I kind of want to name out some of the folks who join us tonight. And I see a lot of folks, a lot of familiar people who join the live streams, on a regular occasion. So I see the Keith, Philip, see Larry down there. Good to see you, Larry. Randy, Richard, Tim and Hannah from Gunline Bees. We have Russell Amon from up there. Good to see you, Russell. We have Philip from RTX Honeybees. We have DC from Washington, up northern Washington. See if I can go back a little bit. Make sure to let us know kind of where you're from, kind of what you're doing right now, so then we kind of know. I see Jonathan Stevens. Good to see you. That was an awesome intro. Thank you. I kind of edited to make a new intro just for tonight, a special edition for tonight. I see Mike in there, Stan Gore. Good to see you in there. A lot of folks in here. We already have 23 people in here, so I appreciate y'all joining us tonight. I see the Barnhill Bee Barn, so good to see you as well. And a lot of more folks will probably join in as time goes by. James Noel, really good to see you too. A member for the Wildwoods Beekeeping channel. Tom and Melissa from the Honeybees, good to see y'all too. Good to see everybody. It's really, I really like having all these folks in here chatting. Make sure to chat in the comment section below. Bring up topics, questions, whatever you'd like to talk about. Anything you want to talk about or anything that you would like me to kind of go on, feel free to put it in the comment section below and give your opinions and your thoughts and everything below. So I think I should start out with some of the basic things that I'm doing and kind of what are my bees doing. A lot of folks might not know what I'm doing, kind of how the bees are. You guys are probably seen there, what are bees doing? I haven't really done a video, any updates or anything for the past couple of weeks. It's actually probably been a month since I even got into a colony. In the whole month of December, most of November, I haven't really opened up the colonies. I haven't really needed to. There's no need to. All I need to do is go in there and pop open the lids and make sure the bees have enough food, and that's pretty much it. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now, if you guys are wondering. Nothing like big. You guys, I'm not really going into the colonies. I know a lot of folks have been asking me if I've been trying to get into the colonies since it is warmer down here at times, and I can do it. It's been way too cold to pull out brood, anything like that. Any type of work that really needs to be done, I haven't really been doing it. There's really no need to open it unless if I need to go in there and put some food on. So that's pretty much right now. And you guys may be wondering, how are the bees? They're doing really good. All the bees are looking very good too. All 6 of them are still healthy, still strong. I'm still feeding when I need to. So, yeah, it's pretty much, it's not a whole lot going on with the bees. It's still the same, still doing really, really good. So I'm really happy with where I am. I've been getting better, trying to keep these bees alive, get them through winter, keep them going. So that's pretty much it. But good to see everybody. I see Pastor Larry. Good to see you, Pastor Larry, and Jan. And Miss Leona. Nice to see y'all. Thank y'all for joining in tonight. So, yeah, that's pretty much really what's going on here. Nothing big, nothing, not really anything that I need to do, opening up colonies wise. I don't need to go in there and look at brood or anything. Most folks aren't really doing that type of work right now. It's not really that type of time to do it. I like to really go into my colonies to open up brood when it's 65 degrees or higher. Hasn't really been in that category. And I've really just been busy and I haven't been able to get in there and really do anything. And it's actually for the better for me, honestly. I've been trying my best to stay out of the colonies, and I've been doing that. And they have been doing good when I'm not going in there and, messing up anything. And I'm not trying to put it out in a bad way, but I'm trying to stay intentional. I've talked about that before. I've been much better at doing that. I think so this year. This year's been a much more of a rebuild year, and trying to keep these bees healthy. Try to rebuild from last year since we had a really bad year. So here we are now, six colonies. One's a little weaker, but all the others are stronger. This smaller one that I know a lot of folks have been hearing me talk about, it's just a little smaller. It's like this big of a cluster. They have been doing really well, honestly. I was really worried going into winter with this colony, thinking that it was going to probably not make it. It might have only made it for 2 weeks, but it's been doing really well. So I just need to keep feeding them, keep them, fed, and then let them grow. And they'll continue to grow through winter down here. They'll do that. I had a colony probably a year or two ago where during winter they were really, really small, but then they started actually growing up and becoming a little bit of a bigger colony. So time will tell, and we'll see how everything looks spring, because I just need to keep these bees alive and healthy to spring, and we'll see what we do next year. So again, feel free to ask any questions. I do see a couple that I will go on and answer. Vincent's not in the background right now, so I'm going to have to kind of go over here and look at the comments myself and pick them up. So I see Stan Gore. So how cold does it have to be before you stop feeding sugar water? Well, that is a very interesting question. Actually, we were actually just talking about that not too long ago. It was actually yesterday. We're going to family and we're kind of talking about bees or whatever, and we're kind of talking about sugar water and kind of when we need to take it off. And I don't know if it's a specific, temperature where you have to take it off. It's not a specific number, but I'm thinking probably around 40 degrees if I had to guess, somewhere around there. For me, now, that's just, scientific wise. Now, for me, I kind of like to take my sugar water off the start of winter. Temperature wise would probably be around the 40s, maybe high 30s, because especially whenever you put on sugar water, especially when it gets too cold, that can cause moisture problems and things like that, which we don't want in the colony. So I like to take my sugar water off right when it starts to get cold, and then start putting on some sugar bricks and some other hard feed, whether it be sugar bricks, candy boards, you name it. It's pretty much the same thing. So that's just kind of where I like to do it. Somewhere around that number is kind of where I like to do it. But here's the thing, though, Stan, especially down here, so we have these fluctuating temperatures. It's really, even if it gets up to 65 degrees, some folks probably like to feed sugar water. So it depends on where folks live. I usually just like to stop feeding sugar water in general when it gets cold, a little cooler, and then start feeding sugar bricks all the way till spring, something like that. It's kind of where I like to do. Grayson, hey DC, good to see you. How many hives did you take into winter this year? Good question. I took 6 into winter this year, and I'm still at 6. So I'm thinking that's actually pretty good where I'm at. Right this moment. So we'll see if we can get all the way through winter, I would like to do that. Try to keep these bees strong and healthy, keep them, um, heavy as well, keep them fed well. Already did all my treatments and things like that. Yeah, that's already been taken care of, like in fall. So, yeah, I went in with 6, and I'm still at 6 right now. So I think I'm doing pretty good so far. Let's see. All right. So yeah, I went in with 6. They're all still doing really well. The days are already starting to get longer, and the bees know it. You're right. You're right. So that's pretty much it. I think. I mean, there's nothing really else right now that's going on. I've been trying to make more videos, launching more videos out, talking about what the stuff, some other things, not really going out into the bee yard or anything like that. Especially since it's been colder and not really a good time to go out there and do it. But I'll say eventually, once things start to warm up a little bit and I have time during the day, I will go out into the bee yard and show y'all a little bit of what's going on in the hive. I won't go deep into it, but I'll just kind of show a little bit of some frames and then quickly close them back up. So I'll do that eventually once I have some more time to do that and get some videos out, and we'll see kind of what the bees are doing, kind of what they look like. I'll do a video eventually on that too. So we'll see eventually. But feel free to ask some more questions if you have any topics, anything that you'd like me to talk about. I'll talk about, or any questions. Feel free to put them in there. Hey Joey, Joseph Rawls, good to see you in there. Thanks for checking in. Good to see everybody tonight. There's a lot of folks in here that I recognize, and maybe some new folks that join in as well. But that's pretty much it. I plan to do some more videos. I'm going to mention this while we wait for a couple more questions. Some things that I'm kind of doing right now with the channel is I've been actually taking in like video ideas. It's sometimes really hard to generate video ideas. I sit down at my computer thinking, what do I need to record? What are some video ideas, some things that I need to record or whatever? So I started to regularly put out posts, and I'll kind of announce it here, is if you, one of my viewers, somebody, if you pop up with an idea that you would like me to do, a video about, put it in the comment section of my videos and just label it a question, a topic for your video. I'll record it and I'll publicly on the video shut you out and let the folks know who's watching it who gave me that idea. That's something I kind of came up with, and that's kind of what I'm gonna do to try to get more video ideas. Sometimes it's hard enough already to get video ideas. So my recent video is actually a video idea from some folks. I already forgot who it was. I can't remember, but there's some folks who said, I have trouble with my bees getting honey. How do I maximize my honey production? So I made a video about that, talking a little bit about that. I don't know. I've never made a video about it, so that was a pretty good idea. Pretty good idea. And I actually had another video idea that was given to me on my other post, so I'll kind of record that as well eventually. Maybe this week. We plan to have a pretty busy week, with Christmas and all. So, let's see, we got a couple more questions from Hallelujah. Excuse me, from Pastor Larry. Hallelujah Bee Farm, and they ask, Grayson, what is your favorite and least favorite thing about beekeeping? That's been a question that's been asked on my live stream, so thank you for asking. It's a very good question. Let me kind of get up so you guys can see me. So let me start off with my least favorite thing. I think really my least favorite thing is probably hive beetles. I hate messing with them. I hate them in general because they're really annoying with the bees and mess up everything that I do. And they're really a big problem the year before. Last year in 2023, they were a nightmare. So this year, luckily and thankfully, has not been as bad as a problem with the beetles, but you know, it's still been a problem. They're still in the colonies and they can cause problems. So that's probably my least favorite thing about beekeeping. My favorite thing, there's a whole lot of things that are my favorite things about beekeeping. Let me name a couple. I think the main number one thing is the bees themselves. It's so fun going out into the bee yard and seeing these bees work, seeing them work together to make things happen that they need to happen, whether it be working together to make honey, keeping the colony strong, keeping them alive, keeping them uh, going, be sacrificing themselves each day to the colony for the future. That's just really cool and one of the favorite aspects of beekeeping. And then I think second thing would the favorite I would say would be the beekeeping community, because the beekeeping community is really, really great. A lot of great folks out there who have opinions and share topics and answer questions from folks who may not know things. Maybe new beekeepers can just come right into this chat or another chat that might be going on, and there, there's information right there for them. A lot of folks helping out beekeepers, beekeepers helping beekeepers. So there's really two things I really, really like about beekeeping. I hate beetles, mites. Those things are terrible. But all right, let's go to the next question from Philip Moore, and he says, "Sorry if you said it already, but what are your goals for the coming year?" Great question. I've talked about it a little bit. I had a video a while back, but it was a while back. I think it was more like in November, maybe even October. So I'll be happy to go on and talk about it again for folks who may not know what my goals are for next year. And really, my goals for next year is really depending on how things go. Excuse me. How things go next year. I mean, throughout the winter. If I'm in a good spot where I can raise some queens, do some things like that, then I'm in a good spot where I can do that. I just have to wait till next year. I do want to get some more honey, maybe sell some more honey next year. I've been actually selling some honey, some of the spring honey from this year. I've been able to get some out there and selling it. So a lot of folks like that as well. What else? Expand a little bit. It's one of the biggest things. Try to expand slowly but surely. Not too fast, not too slow. So those are some small things that I'm going to be doing. It's not a whole lot. It's not like I know everything, but I think everything that I want to do next year is really depending on how this winter goes. If all my bees get through winter, everything goes the way I need it to go, they stay strong, the next year I can expand really good, then I'm going to probably most likely try to do some queen rearing, some different stuff. So it depends, but I want to expand for sure next year as long as everything goes well. I want to get some more honey and some other things as well. But next question is from DC's Bees. Are you all going to the North American Honeybee Expo this year? You know what? A lot of folks have been asking me that question, DC, and I'm not going to be going up there this year. It's really been, busy around this time of year, going into the new year. So we're not going to be going up there this year. It's a long drive where we're at, but so we're not going to be going up there this year, but maybe sometime in the future we'll take a trip up there. We'll see how things go in the future. All right, next question is from Keith Spillman. Grayson, what's your favorite guitarist and or band? A good question. If you guys don't know, I do play guitar and I do have a guitar channel, and I haven't been able to upload as much on there. I've just been busy trying to upload on this channel. So eventually I'll get to that channel and upload videos if I'm able to, but it's been busy with this channel alone. Pink Floyd, Guns N' Roses, Martin Knopfler, some of those bands. Those are some of the old bands, I guess you would say. Some of the 80s, 90s, AC/DC. Those are some of my favorites. The next question is from Via Honeybees. Grayson, where do you see yourself in 5 years with your beekeeping and YouTube channel? All right, that's a great channel. That's a great question, Tom and Melissa. That's really hard to say. I know I'm going to be doing beekeeping in 5 years. I'm not going to quit or anything. I'll be on YouTube for 5 years. I believe I will be. I'm not going to be stopping or anything. I'm going to continue going for the future. I'm going to continue doing my interviews and all that good stuff. With the YouTube channel. My Monday night live streams that I get guests on. A lot of folks who love that I get on to share topics and things like that. Continue doing videos, try to help people out if I can. If people need help or people ask for help, I'm going to try my best to help them. With the beekeeping itself, I'm going to try to expand and hopefully eventually into the next couple of years try to make it a sideline business and hopefully one day make it a commercial business. That's kind of where I really want to go with the beekeeping itself. But you guys will be able to see it firsthand. So, but yeah, that's a great question. Gunline Bees, Grayson, is there something beekeeping related you want for Christmas? Good question too. My mom already asked me if I need anything beekeeping, but I already have a lot of things beekeeping related. All the things that I need: smokers. I have 3 smokers, like 3 or 2 hive tools. I don't use my smokers all the time. I have all the equipment for now. I don't really need any equipment right now. I can build my equipment too. I can build equipment. Wait on, let me think. Pretty much all the things that I have, suits, gloves, all the things you can name it, I already have. So nothing this year that I need for the beekeeping at the second. But, in the future, I might come up with something that I might need with it. But I'm not right this second. Maybe once I get into the commercial, sideline aspect and kind of continue growing, more things I'll need. But right now, there's not much I need at the second. But because I have all the stuff. But great question. How long have you been keeping bees, Grayson? Great question. I've been keeping bees for about 8 years. 8 years. It's been a great experience chatting with folks, talking with other beekeepers, going to conferences. Last conference I went to was the Hive Life. That was a great experience, and I was going to try to go to another one, but I think it was full. But I've been keeping bees for 8 years. Our mom got us started into it, but I eventually took over. So, yeah, 8 years been great. I love it and go out there in the bee yard and make videos. So, great question, Gary. How did your 2-frame splits work out for you? If there was an update, I didn't see it. A great question, Michael. They didn't really go good. Whenever I did them, I've talked about it a couple times. But I really didn't make a video. I probably should have made a video right on that topic. That would have been a great video idea at the time. But it didn't really go good for me. And all of them didn't make it. And I think the reason is if I might have bought some queens and put them in there, it might have worked. But I tried to make them make their own queen, and it was only 2 frames. So those 2 frames of bees, they weren't able to make it all the way for 4 or 6 weeks for the queen to hatch, to make the queen cell, to hatch, to mate. It was just it didn't work out good, but I learned from that lesson. Making 2 small splits, and yeah, I should have made an update about it, but yeah, it didn't really go too good. But good question. Philip Morris, good to see you, Philip. RTX Honeybees, and I've been really enjoying your interviews. Can you share who you might like to interview over the next few months? Great question. There's a lot of folks that I try to get on, and here's the thing: whenever I reach out to folks to try to get on, sometimes they not not be able to make it, which I totally understand because, sometimes, you have life come up and you have things that you have to do and you can't come on the show. But I've had a lot of folks on that I've, got on. Like, I've been trying to work out with, Yappy, B-Man, good old Yappy, and some other folks too. Uh, Mr. Ed, some of those folks I've been slowly kind of trying to get on the live stream. Maybe sometime soon I'll get them on. Um, Grayson, you should interview Philip RTX Honeybees. He is an interesting fella. Well, Tom and Melissa, I already did that. If I didn't do it, I would. I think, yeah, I already get. I think, yeah, I already did get Philip on the show, and it was like a month ago, maybe. But I got him on. It was a wonderful live stream. It was fun to do that with him, and I still appreciate him coming on and doing it. So as you can see, I've got a lot of folks on the live stream. Um, but eventually, in the next couple of months, I'll probably go on and get Philip back on the channel. I like to try to sometimes get folks that I've already had on the channel back on and talk more bees about, with them. So yeah, great question. And but yeah, I had Philip on here not too long ago. It was actually, I had like a span of like 5 live streams with folks on, like Philip, Tom and Melissa, Mike Berry, Ian Stepler. I can't really remember who else. Now, I will go through, I will take a little rewind while we're talking about this topic, my live streams. Here, give me a second. I'll talk a little bit about kind of rewinding on who I've had on. I've had a lot of folks on the live stream. It's been fun. There's been a lot of fun chats that I've done. I'm sure a lot of you've been here for all those. I've had on Chris Warner this year. That was a really fun one. Dr. Cameron Jack. And who else? Keith Spillman. I'm not going to be able to name all of them. You guys make sure to go back and rewatch all of those because it was a really, really good year of interviews, getting people on. Ian Stepler, I had him on like 2 years ago, and I decided to get him back on. And it was really fun to do that. So yeah, a lot of great people coming on the live stream. I had like David Burns earlier in the year. I had Cayman Reynolds on too earlier in the year. Yeah, a lot of folks. I've had a lot of people on. I plan to try to find more people. Sometimes it's hard to find people on my little list. When I'm going over to trying to find people, sometimes I'm running out of ideas of getting people on them. But then I eventually find more channels where I'm able to get more folks on, some even smaller beekeepers, some bigger beekeepers, whoever it is, I'm able to find some and put them on the list of me emailing them and kind of seeing if we can figure something out. So you should have a interview recap, Grayson, from DC. You know what, DC? I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking that would be a great idea to do. I need to do that maybe like a little, just like a clip, like a long clip of all the interviews. Maybe not everything, not each one, because if I put all the live streams together, it'd be like probably a 2-day thing of watching all the recaps. But I'm not gonna do the whole thing. But I'm gonna try to take little segments and maybe make a professional or some type of cool recap video of all the interviews and make a video out of it. I think that'd be a great idea. I've thought about that, and that's a great suggestion, DC. Thanks for bringing it up, because if it wasn't for you, I probably would have never thought about that. So maybe I'll do that here soon and do that. Maybe put it on there on December 31st, since that's New Year's Eve, or maybe on New Year's Day, kind of recapping the year with interviews. And eventually, I'll do a video recapping my YouTube channel and the beekeeping season. So yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, DC. See, is there any more questions? Excuse me. Thought there might have been a couple more questions. Let me see. Uh, oh, there you go. I was looking for Gary's comment. May I correct you one thing? Queen cells do not hatch; they emerge. The eggs hatch some 13s. Thank you, Gary. I must have misspoke. They do emerge, not hatch. Sorry about that. Thanks for correcting me though, because sometimes I talk so fast. I know a lot of folks may kind of realize that sometimes I. Let me move this down so then it won't cover up my face. But sometimes I talk so fast I sometimes don't even know what I'm saying. So thank you, Gary. But yeah, he's right. They don't hatch; they emerge out of our cells. But oh, no worries, Gary. Is there a Santa Claus? Yeah. Thank you, Gary. Let's see. Via honeybees. Grayson, do you have any Apame halves or horizontal halves? I do not. I've been thinking about trying to get some of those. I've heard of Apame and horizontal. I just use right now at the time being just some of the horizontal halves, and but I do have a plastic nuke, but I don't have any Apame halves. I've watched the videos about them. I would be interested in getting a horizontal half. I actually had Ricky on not too long ago, like last year maybe, and we were kind of talking about that, and I forgot all about it. He said that if I wanted to try to build one, I could he could send me some plans. So maybe eventually I'll do that. But yeah, excuse me. I may have missed it. Have you made any spring plans yet? Spring plans, yeah. Um, for spring, I just kind of want to try to get these beasts through winter. I don't really want to get any nukes or anything because I already did that last year. Hopefully, come up with 5 and see how everything goes. Maybe make some splits, and especially if there's some swarms and some things like that. Feed, especially early spring. I'm gonna start back on sugar water feeding, kind of start that back up a little bit. So not a whole lot of spring plans yet, but I've made some things, some ideas I need to do. Number one is get out there early spring, feed these bees, make sure they're well fed, make sure they have enough food coming out of spring, kind of build them up a little bit, and then after that I'll kind of stop because especially early spring, whenever there's not a lot of things out there, it's really important to feed. So that's what I'm going to do. Early spring, I'm going to make sure they're strong, do some regularly inspections, and do some videos as well. Have you tried making any candles, lip balm, or other products? We have actually, and I know I haven't made any videos, anything about that, and eventually we will. But we have made them before. Some candles. We haven't made any lip balm or any other products. Candles though, and we actually have them. Maybe I should eventually show them on the live stream. But they're just some candles. We've used them before. One time, whenever our lights went out, I kind of lit them up, and they did pretty well. So I plan to hopefully maybe in the future do some more products and some more things, and kind of grow that aspect of it. You should build you a long hive. I really like mine for mating nukes. Oh yeah, I know that those horizontal hives, um, you know, have those some different ways of using it, whether it be mating nukes or just regular a long hive or regular hive or maybe some nukes or mating nukes. So yeah, I do. One day maybe you'll try to do that. Get up with Ricky. I almost forgot about that. I haven't actually forgot everything about that. He mentioned that to me, and I actually remembered it right whenever somebody mentioned whenever you mentioned the horizontal hive or who maybe I think DC mentioned it or somebody mentioned it, but yeah, I have several Apame hives and then still not convinced. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people some different opinions on it, and I'll research about it, but I don't really have any plans to buy any. I know there's a lot of people who might not have any good success or anything with it. I'm not for it and I'm not against it. So I'm kind of neutral because I haven't really researched a lot about it. I've heard about it. I've heard people talk about it, but I haven't really had any hands-on experience with it, but I plan just to kind of use my regular my regular Langstroth colonies, my hives. Grayson, are you going to order any spring queens or for splits, or are you going to just make your own? Yeah, that's a good idea, and DC, that really does depend on kind of how things go, especially right when I open out of spring. So here's what I'll most likely do: right when I open up into spring and feed, and I see some queen cells, I'm not going to buy any queens at that point. I'm just going to make my own. I can do that as long as I have enough bees in that split to get them through some time. If it's a swarm, especially when they already have the queen cell made, and it really doesn't take as long as it does just to split them without queens. Have two colonies without queens and not even a queen cell, and those bees have to survive all that time making a queen cell. So it really depends, but I think next year I'm probably most likely just gonna make them myself, but most likely just on swarms. I'm not gonna split unless there's some swarming action. That's really the best situation for me to split in. Hey Gary, maybe it's just me, but I have yet to ever winter in an insulated hive. I don't know why my wood boxes do just fine. Absolutely, Gary. My wooden boxes do just fine. No problem with them. They do well. I'm sure it's good for some designs out there with insulation, and I'm not against them either. Or I'm not even, I'm not for them or against them, like I said. But my wood boxes for me really do good. Grayson, do you use 8 frame or 10 frame hives, and do you run single or double deep configurations? Great question. And usually it's me the one who's asking that question. I always ask sometimes my folks who watch kind of what they like to run: 10 frames, 8 frames, single or double, the configuration. For me, I prefer 10 frame colonies, the hives, and I run single deeps. I've run doubles before, and nothing against it, but I just down here I find that for me, I like singles much better, and it worked for me. But I know a lot of folks down here who love doubles, so it really depends on kind of the beekeeper's preference, kind of what they rather do. So I recommend Rock Creek. They have the best queens in my opinion. I'll look that up and see how that is, and if I need queens. And thanks for the suggestion. I'll kind of look into that. Yeah, I agree. For price of the newer hive designs, they need to outperform the wooden ware 2 or 3 fold, in my opinion. Now, if you are in a more extreme climate, I agree with you. Yeah, but like I said, I have not had any experience with it, so I can't really say anything on it. But like I said, my regular colonies, the wooden boxes, they do fine. And you have, if you want those, plastic, the Apame, or whatever type of a hive design, or the brand it is, sometimes they need to outperform the wooden ones, because a lot of times those plastic ones, the Apames are much more expensive. If I had to guess, they'd probably most likely be much more expensive than the wooden boxes, which I can make here. Grayson, all yours went into winter and singles this year. Didn't you take some as doubles last winter? Oh, absolutely, DC. You probably watched from the start. I did take some into winter, some doubles on the previous year. So definitely I did. This year, all of them are going into singles. I actually do have one in a nuke, and all the others in a single. I might do doubles, but lately I guess I just kind of switched to singles. because it's much more easier to feed. That's, I think, the main reason why I'll say is the reason why I like singles better is just that it's easier to feed them sometimes, but it's still good with doubles as well. So I don't hate doubles, but I still use them too. I'll still use them as well. I'm open to use them if I need to. But lately, I just kind of overwintered with some singles. But you're right, DC. I did overwinter with some doubles the previous year, 2022 going into 2023. I think that's what it was. This is my theory. I think the inside is too smooth and they do not propolize them well. I look to see Apamay changing their design to roughed up inner walls. Yeah, I've actually heard about that. People talking about that specific, maybe way of kind of making it a little bit better, for the bees inside. Too smooth and they don't like to propolize it. So yeah, I've heard about that as well. I manually scratched up that inner walls of here. Excuse me. I manually scratched up the inner walls of the ones I have, and so for this year they are doing better. Well, that's good. See, is there any more questions? Pick a cavity that duplicates a tree. Yeah, yeah. I've talked about that before too. Apamay do not have the condensation in winter, so many die of thirst. Yeah, a lot of good things in there. Been thinking about Gary's comment. I'm wondering if 5 years makes you a solid beekeeper, or does it take 5 years to get some ragged looking boxes that make you appear as a solid beekeeper? Yeah, I've been watching videos of how to make log house. Not too hard really. You know what, DCF? I've heard about log house before, and we've thought about that before. But yeah, I know a lot of folks probably make some videos and stuff. I'm sure there's a lot of videos on the internet, on YouTube or some other place that kind of talks about making log halves. I've seen some other things it's not a log, but it's like it duplicates a log, but it's just wood. It just creates that hollow tree for the bees to live in. So I guess it makes it a little bit more natural. Wood doesn't rot if you take care of your gear. Oh yeah, as long as you take care of it, then it will not rot. I have some boxes that are that I kept for 8 years that did rot, but it really lasted a long time. I have a lot of my gear right now that is still really old, and I'm still using it. So hey, I'm glad it's lasted. It lasts pretty good as long as you take care of it, and so it depends, especially if you keep it under a roof. I did keep a lot of my equipment in the rain, but it still does okay in the rain. I just put some lids on top so it don't get too wet. So I'm 59. I don't need boxes to start getting to the last 50 years. Yeah. All right, we've already got 45 minutes in the live stream. Wow, that's amazing. Y'all go on and click the thumbs up button as well. I'd really appreciate y'all if y'all go on and smash the like button. Make sure to share it out if you'd like. We'll go on for about 15 more minutes, somewhere around there, and we'll kind of end it off here soon. But make sure to feel free to ask any questions. If you have any more, keep piling them in. I'll answer a couple more. But I want to say something real quick about kind of what I'm doing with my memberships. I know there's a lot of folks in here who probably who's a member. I have like 15 members right now. A lot of I think somebody in the last 2 live streams kind of just gifted some people some membership. So that was really a really nice thought and really nice of them to do so. If you're a member or somebody who is a member, I'm trying to do some early access to guest lists. So what I mean by that is kind of announce kind of who I'm getting on really early, so then people kind of know kind of who I'm getting on, and the members know that first, and then like maybe a couple weeks after, then I kind of mention and start advertising for it on the on like my community page for public. So that's something new I've been kind of doing with that too. One thing I do suggest if you buy Apple House is to literally coat them inside with beeswax on the walls to get rid of factory plastic smell. Yeah, great suggestion. And I've heard some things about that waxing, having wax boxes really does good too, especially with plastic. Trying to get all that factory plastic smell off it. Yeah, it can make a difference. A big one too. Let's see. Let me fix this real quick. Let me go through comments, make sure I didn't miss anything. There's Philip via my new method is the hive is only going to make 20 pounds. I just need more hives. Yeah. Well, one thing I do know is my live streams go by pretty quickly. Already 48 minutes gone by in my live streams. It's unbelievable how fast these live streams go by. So, yeah. Especially with guests. But I've just been here answering questions, sitting there answering them, and it went by really, really quickly. Faster than I would expect it to. A lot of times when I do it by myself, it's a little bit longer. But, yeah. So, sorry, yeah, but other than everything we talked about, we talked a lot of different things. We'll go on about 10 more minutes. Feel free to ask a couple more questions if you have any, or any topics or whatever. But like I said, bees are doing well. Bees are strong. Bees are healthy. Nothing really much to do. I'm going to try to make some more videos. They really didn't do any videos today. No, and probably not going to do any videos tomorrow either. Plan to visit more family tomorrow, just family visits or whatever. So we're going to do that tomorrow as well. And then we'll have Christmas and go to our families that day as well. So, but other than then, after that, maybe Friday or the weekend, I'm gonna try to do some more videos to upload. Maybe I'll figure out some ideas. I actually had a recommendation. I got to record that sometime this week. I'll find some time eventually. Let's see. Okay. So, yeah, feeding, making sure they are healthy. I mean, keeping them healthy is really important this time of year, especially with these fluctuating temperatures. Having them strong really makes a difference. But if they're a little smaller, then I still have to feed. I'm really feeding them really, really heavy. I do have a question, but I'm not going to put you on the spot because so far nobody's been able to answer it. No worries. Yeah, where was I? But yeah, it really does make a difference, especially keeping them healthy, keeping them strong, keeping them, keep feed on them, And down here in Alabama, like I've mentioned so many times before, with these up and down temperatures, it really does cause problems down here, and I've been dealing with that lately. But the best thing is that it's been kind of cold lately, so that's kind of been helping them kind of stay cold. I've been keeping them clustered up so they're not flying all the time. I mean, once in a while, it's good for them to go out and defecate and all that stuff. They have to do that, but sometimes gets to the point where it gets too much, and it can cause problems. How much sugar syrup did you feed this year? Well, I really didn't keep up with it, but I can tell you it was a lot. I feed them 1 gallon buckets, so if I had to guess, it'd probably be somewhere around 25 to 30 to 35 1 gallon buckets. So somewhere around there. This whole year, I could be way off. It could be more, it could be less, but somewhere around there. I guess I really it might be actually interesting to actually kind of log it in. So that's actually a good idea that I just thought of that I might try to do is next year is kind of keep up with how many 1 gallon buckets I feed and kind of keep that dialogue and keep it kind of logged in so I can kind of tell kind of where how much sugar or syrup I use. Kind of give me a good estimate. Hey Jack and Danette, good to see y'all. Thank y'all for checking in. Hello Steven at the Homesteading Adventure. Good to see y'all. Thank y'all for checking in. All right, now let me look at the weather real quick. I know a lot of folks really like to know kind of what our weather is. Let me know kind of what y'all's weather usually is. Folks in the chat. I kind of want to just kind of mention kind of I actually haven't really looked at it really recently, but I'll kind of share it out with some folks tonight if y'all are interested. It keeps on not letting me get in here. Give me just a second. Been kind of cold lately. Not really too warm. I have to use a different app. This app's for some reason it's just not working for some reason. I guess it don't like me right now. All right, here we go. So today, I think the high today was like 50, maybe 47 degrees. It really wasn't warm today. It really didn't get high, too warm today. The low tonight's 32. But here's the thing, though. Tomorrow, the high is 64. So the bees will most likely be flying tomorrow. So it'll be 64 tomorrow for the high. And then the lows are averaging in the 30s, the 36 tomorrow. But here's where it really gets different. Wednesday, which is Christmas, 68 degrees. The low will be 48 degrees. That's wonderful. But not for the bees, but for us it is. Thursday, it's going to be 64 degrees, and the low is going to be 52. So, it's going to be warm. Next Tuesday, it has to be like 75 degrees. So, you see, these temperatures are really up and down. It really goes really up and down. It really looks like, on the forecast, it really looks like pretty much 60s and 70 degree weather. So, that's kind of how our weather is looking like, but in a queenless hive, they take an egg that is against the foundation. Here, I guess this must be the question that you mentioned up there. Give me a second. Let me read this. In a queenless hive, they take an egg that is against the foundation and make a queen. Yet the queen cell bottom is like 1.5 inch from the foundation. How did the egg move? That is pretty hard, Gary. I don't know if I'm going to be able to answer that. I'll think about it, though. That might be something I'm going to try to think on. How did the egg move? Somebody in the comment section, help me out here. I really don't know. That's a tough question. In a queenless hive, they take an egg that is against the foundation. Against the foundation, okay. Make a queen. Hey, that's a good question. How did the egg move? I don't know. I am told queens will not lay eggs in cells that. Let's see. I am told queens will not lay eggs in cells that are too deep to reach the bottom. So the egg was not laid in the cell. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, all right. That's a good question. I can see why a lot of folks might not be able to answer it. But see, Tom and Melissa made their guess. Gary Stewart, maybe when the nurse bees feed the larvae after it hatches in 3 days, the larva will constantly feed in circles. There you go. Wow, 56 minutes left. But hey, that's a good question, Gary. That was puzzling for a second. But yeah, I kind of, but now I figured that out. Are you talking about emergency sales, Gary? 27 folks on here tonight. Good to see it. Good to see a lot of folks in here tonight. A lot of folks. But, well, I guess we're already 57 minutes into the live stream. I guess we'll kind of start heading out here. It's been really fast. Really went by really fast. I can't believe it, but thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate everybody who joined in. I see Sarah down here. Sarah down there. Thanks for checking in, Sarah. I hope everybody has a great Christmas, and Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope everybody does have a wonderful holiday, a good week, and a good New Year as well. So I'll make a video, some more videos. Stay tuned. Keep watching the channel because I will have more videos out as much as I can, as soon as I can, and once I get to the time to do that. But other than that, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining in and spending time with me. The eve before Christmas Eve. Tomorrow will be Christmas Eve, so there's that. And I don't know if I'm going to be doing my live stream next week. The live stream would fall on a Monday, which would be December 30th. So if I don't have anything to do next week, I'll hop on here again. If I figure out if I can get a guest on, I'll get a guest on. If I can, I'll come on here and answer more questions. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for spending time. Y'all go on and click the thumbs up button. That would really help my channel out. Go on and subscribe to the channel if you are new, and share the live stream out. Maybe some of the things I answered would help me out or help some other folks out and some newer beekeepers. But thank y'all for watching. Merry Christmas, and see y'all next week.